Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today we have yet again two amazing things to be talking about. The first is that it was highly requested by everybody that I take a look at all three of these palettes for you guys. They're part of the legendary Diversa collection that Judyyy came out with. There are three different creators that each helped to put together their particular palette. As of right now, the Giant Wolves one that was curated by Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner is already sold out, so you can't get this one anymore. So the only thing I'm gonna do for this one is I'm gonna swatch the shimmers in there for you guys, because I'm gonna swatch the shimmers from all three palettes. But the other two are still available. And so you have this one that is the Red Dragon palette, which was done by Judyyy. And then you also have the Hummingbird palette, which was done by Fancy Face. And so I will make sure that we take a highly deep look into those two palettes. And so we're gonna do a different eye look on each eye, as well as swatching the shimmers, so that way you guys can see exactly what those two palettes can do. All three of them are limited edition, which is why the Giant Wolves one, since it's sold out, is no longer available. But make sure you guys check out the other two because they are also beautiful. And then the other thing that we're gonna be doing today is I am gonna be revealing to you guys who won my giveaway of the indie brand advent calendar. And it is a 12-day one, and so I'll let you guys know. I have all of the names. This was definitely by far the most entered giveaway that I've ever done, which was really awesome to see. And so good luck to all of you guys. But I do have my randomizer already put into my iPad with all of the names. At some point in the video, we're just gonna go ahead and take a look, and I'll let you guys know. And make sure that if you are the winner, I do need for you to comment down below in the comment section your contact information, whether it be Instagram or an email. However you want me to get a hold of you to get your address, just let me know. But I do need for you to comment. And so you will have until Sunday to comment, and if you don't, I will also pull a runner-up in today's video. And so if by Sunday I have not heard anything, the runner-up will get it instead. So that's how we're gonna do that. But let's go ahead and jump into the swatches first, because as we know, I love swatches. So we're gonna swatch the Giant Wolves one first. So we already have some gorgeous shimmers, and I am very excited to see. As of right now, it's looking like the formula is the same as all of the Oden's eye palettes that I have, in that it is just absolutely gorgeous. So already just the feel of it, love it. So here we have a white iridescent shade, Astral, and it does have a very nice kind of champagne-y gold undertone to it. So that is very pretty with that sheen going on there. Man, all right. And then we have Flare, which is more of like a really nice grungy green. And I mean, look at these. This is one swatch and just immediately opaque. That is absolutely stunning. I think that's also one of the things that I used to have as like a fairly large critique of mine of Oden's eye, is that with quite a few of their palettes, they're more of just toppers rather than like strong shimmers that you can just use as like a singular look. And so these, as of right now, they are not topper shades. They are solid shimmers, which is just awesome. So then we have Skull, which is a beautiful navy blue shimmer. Look at that. Has a really nice black base to it, so you're getting that really deep, rich blue shade. Almost a bit of some purple in there as well, so that does look like a duochrome to me, going back and forth between the navy and the purple, so that is lovely. Then we have Hati, which is a lighter purple, and this guy definitely looks more like a topper shade for sure. It is a little bit more on the sheer side. You would definitely need to build that up, and so that would be a really nice top shade to add on there. And then the last shimmer from this palette is the Eternal Shimmer, and that is this guy right here. Also, it feels like a topper shade, but that is solidly opaque, and that is gorgeous. It is, so it looks like it has a bit of a light blue base to it, and then has a green to orangish to yellow shift on there. So from back here, you're seeing the bluish, almost periwinkle base. And then there, as I'm getting closer, you're starting to see that gold and even more of the blue base. And then some of that green, and then there's the orangish, peachish gold. And then it almost turns a bit purple, but that is absolutely stunning. And you can also see on this guy, ever so slight, a little bit of like a pink in there as well. So really beautiful. That is lovely. All right. I feel horrible having swatched that one for you guys, because that's really, really nice. Maybe they will bring it back, who knows? I hope so, because that's lovely. So let's go ahead and jump into the Red Dragon palette next, which I really, really like this. So I don't normally like more reddish tones, and in the photos, it looked very neutral. But in person, it is like the perfect grungy fall palette. Sorry, I'm blinding you there with the mirror. It is so, so nice. These shades are absolutely gorgeous. And so we are definitely going to swatch all 4 of the shimmers, see how they do. But I am very excited about this guy because I have been very into those fall looks. And all right, so first up we have Solar Flare, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of a gap so we can tell which palette is which. So this is Solar Flare first, which is definitely a bit of like a duo multi-chrome type of thing. It has a reddish brown base to it, and then it has green to gold kind of shimmer shift on top. So as I come in, you can initially see the yellow on the corners there, but it has definitely that light brownish red base. And so there you can see that really lovely gold to yellow shift on there. And on the side here, you can really see where that brown tone is the undertone of that one. Then we have Overheat, which is a nice orangish, burnt rose, peachish type shade. And this guy just looks like it's a fairly straightforward peach shade with just some gold glitter on top, but not really too much of a shift to that one or a different color base to it at all. Then we have Luna. And this guy definitely looks to me like it's gonna be a bit of a duo multi-chrome shift. So I'm seeing red and then very strong gold, or not gold, very strong green shift on there. So we're really getting that nice, almost kind of cranberry raspberry red. And then you're starting to see the green, and then really green to gold shift on top with just that absolutely lovely, deeper reddish brown underneath. That is lovely. And this guy is definitely looking very grungy to me with that shift that it has on there with the brown to kind of yellowish, almost green on top. Very nice. And then the final shimmer that we have is Amber, and this guy looks like it has a little bit more brownish tones to it, and it's very similar to the second shade in that there's not really a shift that I'm catching, but just a little bit of some gold speckle on top. And so that is the 4 that we have for this palette. And that is also very nice, but you can really see the fall kind of grungy vibes that that palette is showing off. And so I really like that. Plus literally anything with a dragon, you know, I'm gonna wanna have it because I love dragons. I collect dragons, so it's just, absolutely love it. And this is just an absolutely stunning image of a Chinese dragon on there, so I really, really like that. All right, so last up we're gonna swatch the Hummingbird palette, and this is definitely like the most colorful of all 3 of the palettes. You just have all the rainbow vibes on there, very tropical feeling, and so I definitely think that they did an amazing job putting this one together for just all of the beautiful shades without having it feel too much like a rainbow palette. Like, I feel like these colors go together, they fit. And so I really like that. And it also has the most shimmers out of all of the palettes. So we are going to knock out all 7 of these on this hand now. So first up is Feathers, and that is just a bright lime green. Absolutely gorgeous. Almost looks like it has a little bit of some yellowish undertones on there, but just an absolutely stunning lime green and just immediately opaque as well. Then we have Swallowtail, which is a bit of an orangish shimmer. Really nice on that one. Also very similar to the first one in that it's just a really beautiful shimmery metallic. No shifts or anything, but immediately opaque. Then we have Tropics, which looks like a stunning turquoise shade. This is just absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, these 3 shades together already is just like all the vibes. I absolutely love that. Oh my goodness, so bright. It makes me feel like summertime. And I think that's the cool thing, is that like between all 3 palettes, you get like the whole year that you want to put together. So I really like that. And even just between the Hummingbird and the Red Dragon palettes, you can create so many different looks because a lot of the shades go wonderfully with each other. Then we have Beach Sands, which is a bit of a champagne-y metallic and definitely a bit more of a topper shade on there. Not quite as opaque as the others. It does start off a bit more sheer, so you would need to build that one up. Then we have the shade Hummingbird, which is a very deep royal purple metallic, and it's a little bit of a thicker consistency, but just absolutely beautiful on there. Has a little bit of a reddish undertone to it, and then kind of blue on, lighter blue on top. So you get, it's not what I would consider a multi-chrome, but it is very interesting with how when the light catches it, that it shows you some of those other tones, but I think it's primarily kind of a reddish undertone to the purple and then some blue speckles on top that are giving you all of those different mixtures, but it just makes it into a really rich purple shade. So that's beautiful. Then we have Fancy, and this shade is gonna be amazing. All right, so definitely has a little bit of like a pinkish purple base to it. And then on top, you've got blue, green, gold. I mean, absolutely stunning. So we're definitely starting off with the pinkish purple base. And then as I get in close, you can see a little bit of that gold on top. And then a little bit more of the green as it's trying to focus on the outer corners. And then ever so slightly right there, you can catch the blue as well. But it is a shifty gal. I would say a little bit on the, like, the slightly more subtle shifty side than you would get with like the Touch of Glam Lucid Lavender shade. Like, it is a little bit more subtle, but like when I look at it in person, it's beautiful. So I think it's just one of those shades that the camera isn't picking it up quite as intensely as it would with some other brands, but you're getting a very similar shift on there that's absolutely beautiful. So really like that one. And then finally we have Blue Fields, which is a beautiful chlorine blue, and very similar to the others, that it's just a straightforward blue metallic-y shimmer. Very nice, thick consistency, immediately opaque. So that is really nice. So these are all of the shimmers that we have. I really like that there are several different formulas that we're looking at. We have some more chunky ones, some very nice straightforward shimmers, some multi-chromes. I mean, just a whole lot going on with all of these. So you have a whole lot of options. Count how many times I say a whole lot. So I really like that from both of them. So we are going to create two different looks on my eyeballs, and so I think we'll do the Hummingbird on this eye and Red Dragon on this eye. So let's go ahead and jump into that, but before we do, let's do our giveaway winner. That way, if you didn't want to have to stick around until the end, you don't have to. Make sure you comment if you're the winner. I need to see it. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump into this, and so I've got it on my iPad. Took me a second to pull it up, but here we have the Advent Calendar giveaway, and so I am going to hit the tap to draw. And we have Angie Anti-Love is the winner. So congratulations to you. If you just want to comment down below, and I did re-look up your comment, and I hope your dad loves his knit beanies that you got for him. I really like that everyone was letting me know what you guys got. It was super fun to see. And so we are going to draw a second individual. So I have refreshed it. And so in case Angie Anti-Love does not get back to me before Sunday, this will be the runner-up, and that is Lizeth Lopez. And so Lizeth, make sure that you're also paying attention, and that if by Sunday Angie Anti-Love has not gotten back to me, I will let you know in Sunday's video that you are now the official winner. And so make sure you're just kind of paying attention to see that update. But as of right now, congratulations to Angie, and so hopefully you'll comment down below and you are the winner of my giveaway, so congratulations. All right, so now we are gonna go ahead and jump into these eye looks, and I am excited to see what I can come up with for this. All right, so we're gonna do Red Dragon first. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is I definitely want to use that grunge green because of course we all know I love a good grunge, clearly based on my shirt. So I am going to jump in with the jade shade first, and I think I'm just going to go diagonally down with these matte shades and just create kind of that ombre effect on there, and then we will go in with some of the shimmers. And for the under eye, I need to see if I also want to include some of these lighter browns into maybe the deeper brown, or perhaps use this one that's a little bit more on the orangey side, unsure. So we'll start off with the top with that nice limey greenish grunge shade. All right, so definitely this particular shade is not turning out quite as pigmented as I was expecting it to. I am having to do a lot of packing on of the shade to get it to really stand out. And it's also not quite as grungy green as I was expecting. It's a bit more on the like mustardy, yellowish tone with just a little bit of green undertones on there, so that's kind of interesting. But it is definitely buildable. It just takes a little bit longer than some other formulas that I use. But we are going to jump into the yin shade, which is a like really nice chestnutty reddish brown shade for the middle on here. All right, they are definitely nice and buildable, and they do blend together nicely, so that is awesome. I really like this kind of chestnutty yin shade. That is absolutely stunning. Really nice rich shade on there. All right, and then the last one we're gonna go into is this kind of dark mahogany shade Fire. You can tell I'm in all the wintry vibes because I'm just whipping out all the different wood shades. All right, I actually really love how those two shades, the two kind of more woodish, woodsy shades blended together. That's lovely. The Fire shade had a bit more of a reddish undertone than I was expecting, whereas the yin shade in the middle turned out to be a bit more on the orangey side. So that's super interesting. So I think that actually works out really well for all three shades. And the fact that the jade shade is a little bit more on the yellowish tone side, I think for the look actually works out much better. And you can see like they definitely applied beautifully, blended together lovely. I'm not noticing any kind of patchiness or anything like that. That's absolutely awesome. And so definitely the pigments formula wise are performing great. And for as deep of the shades as they are, I'm getting like no fallout. So that's awesome. All right, so I think for the under eye, given the more yellowish tones of this shade, we are gonna go into the more beigey rather than orangey tone. And so we're gonna use Sunrise first. Yeah, I think that's a really good shade to start off with, and then we will go into the more brownish tone of Claw as the final shade to smoke out the bottom. All right, let's get into these shimmers next. So what do I want to use for the shimmers? I definitely think that the first shade we're gonna go into is that Solar Flare shade for on the lid on top of that jade shade, and then in the middle I do kind of want to use the Luna shade, that's that beautiful reddish multi-chrome. And so I think we're just going to end up pulling that all the way through the rest of the lid, and then maybe ever so tiny a little bit of the amber shade at the end. But I really think I just want this multi-chrome to be like the star for the majority of it. All right, so Solar Flare is up first. Okay, this is definitely a formula where if you're just gonna go in with a dry brush, you're not gonna get a ton of impact. And so I am gonna use my finger to give it that kerpow. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, and then we're gonna go into Luna. That is interesting. Okay, all right, that shade is definitely very interesting. This is a super colorful, fun look. I really like that. I think that it blends together very nicely with the solar flare shade, and just really, depending on how the light catches it, it either blends in perfectly with the mattes where you can't even see it, or it's like, hey, I'm here. So I think that's super cool. So that is the first look. I am going to tightline and throw on mascara, and then we will jump into the hummingbird look, and then we will wrap this up. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on the hummingbird shade next, and then I will come in close for you guys to look at both of the looks. And I definitely think for this one, I'm wanting to use definitely this coral red shade for sure. And then I think it would be cool to use some of the like deeper bluish shades as well. And then maybe go for like a crazy pop of color on the inner corner, or even just go for the multi-chrome fancy. Unsure. I don't quite know yet, but I do know I want to start off with hibiscus, which is that beautiful coral shade. So I think next I'm gonna go into Lagoon, which is that nice navy blue shade, and then we'll do Star Apple after that, because that kind of goes into this almost like eggplanty grayish shade. So I think that's gonna be kind of interesting to smoke everything out. It's definitely blending together to create a very bright purple. And by bright, I mean deep. It's a deeper purple. All right, we're gonna go into Star Apple next, just to smoke out the back portion on here. I tried to blend in a bit more blue so that it didn't just end up turning into a red and purple look. So that's been a little bit fun. I will say that ever so slightly the blue does create some fallout on there, so that is something to be a little bit cautious with as you are applying it, that you don't go in super heavy-handed, because blues have a tendency to streak a bit when you try and clean them up. So I think for the under eye, I am going to actually go in with some lighter shades. So I'll blend the hibiscus into, we have a light powder blue that is the clear blue shade. So I'm gonna try and blend those two together. And then I think that on the under eyes where I will go over it with the fancy multi-chrome to kind of blend all of those shades together. I think that's a little better, because I wasn't wanting this look to be quite so deep of a color. Like, I thought it was going to be a little lighter when it was done. All right, so for the metallics, we will go into fancy for the under eye. So I'm going to do that real quick first to see how that looks. Oh man, I would be perfectly fine with just covering my entire eye with that shade. That is stunning. It adds like a almost fiery look on the eye. Oh, I love, such a good shade. Okay, so you know what we're gonna actually do, because I think that layered beautifully on top of the hibiscus shade. We're gonna start off with that and then blend it into the purple hummingbird shade after that. Like my lid is on fire. Oh my god, I love it. I'm not even gonna put anything else on. It's just gonna be fancy across the entire lid. And the way that it blends with the blue to where it, like, you can see a bit more of the greenish blue shifts in it, and then it just turns into this fiery reddish purple. Oh my god. And it lightened up the look a little bit more. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna tightline and throw on mascara for this look, and then I will come in close for both of them so you guys can see everything that I did. All right, and we are back with the final look, so I'm gonna come in close for you guys. So on the red dragon eye, I went with more of a grungy green color for the waterline, and I think that really kind of helps to bring out a little bit more of the grungy tones that are on there. And then for the hummingbird side, I just chose a nice corally red shade just because I thought that that kind of fit the vibe of like the bright colors that were going on. I have no idea if the shift is showing up for you guys, but when I was looking in the mirror, like the shift, especially more on the blue side, was really coming in nicely. So I think it looks absolutely awesome. I mean, by far, Fancy is my favorite shade. Like, it just layered beautifully on top of everything. It really brings out some nice tones on there. I mean, I really like the grungy fall vibe that I'm getting on this side with the Red Dragon palette. Everything blended together beautifully, so I would love to know what you guys think of both looks. What do you guys think of all of the swatches? Have any of you guys managed to pick up any of the palettes? If not, I highly recommend checking them out before the Red Dragon and Hummingbird palettes also get sold out. I feel horrible that the Giant Wolf one did sell out, but maybe they'll bring it back, fingers crossed. Again, congratulations to Angie Antilove for winning the giveaway. Make sure that you comment down below and give me a thumbs up if you guys liked the video, thumbs down if you did not. Let me know either way, as we always do. And if you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you join my family here on YouTube. We talk a ton about indie brands, do really colorful makeup, tons of swatches, and so if that sounds like fun to you, come join my family, join us down in the comments down below. We just gush all about makeup, and I would love it if you would join us. And other than that, you guys just go have a good one.